All right, we back.
Yes, sir. What up? What
back,
up? What up? Man, it's your boy Troy.
It's your boy Sean.
Hey, we back tapped in.
Back tapped in. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but hey, we still making it do what it do.
Yeah, man. We ain't fired that cameraman yet, have we, man?
Nah.
No. Okay. No.
Nah. But as always, if you tuned in, man, like, comment, share. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. You know, especially after last week's conversation.
Hey, man, let's fight, man. I love it, man. I enjoy it, man. I appreciate the engagement. Hey, I told my man, I said, listen, I'm coming back. I'm doubling down, man, this week, man. Nah, and all out of love, man. Everything about perspective, man. You know, last week we talked about a topic, man, and definitely a sensitive topic, man. You know, when we was talking about, you know, the relationship and the guy, he thought it was a good idea to tell his wife or girl
yeah,
about her weight and the lack of effort that she was putting in and how he was not attractive. And then, again, we was talking about that guy and his
situation.
girl and in that situation. And, you know, we said some things, but I thought about it.
Hold on. We're not going to do this.
You said, what? We're not
going to do it. We're not just going to start talking about that, man. How we always normally start the show?
Man, what we be with NFL, the football and all? Yeah. I got it. Man, listen, I'm gonna go back.
No.
Man, I can't say what I gotta say.
Okay. No. We got.
All right, I'm gonna get to it because I know they might be watching, man. I'm just saying, I just wanted to respond to our listeners, but guess what? We're gonna get back to it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna let him roast himself again this week.
I try to skip that, man. I try to skip football.
Nah, we not. we ain't skipping no football. Some exciting things happening over the last couple of weeks. Last week specifically,
yeah,
you know, some good divisional playoff games, and I mean, tell me what happened. What happened last week, man?
We all going fishing, man. That's what happened, man. I stand corrected. I just knew we had a different gear, man. I say, man, Philly gotta have a different gear, man. They didn't.
Transmission gone.
It's gone, man. That barely getting through playing half a game. I said, okay, man, that's strategic because that half a game we winning with it. So I'm thinking, you know, postseason, you're gonna go in. That's when you turn it all the way up. But we didn't have a turn up, man.
You know,
I'm talking about with a banged up San Fran team, man. That's when Kittle went down. I said, okay,
done deal.
Yeah, I said done deal. I said, you know, we're gonna get this one. I didn't see eagerness, man.
So, man, do you think? I don't like the way they doing Hurts right now, man. Like they're saying he can't make the throws. You know what I mean? The reason why the offense ain't clicking is because of him. And it's just like, okay, well, where was this energy at last year when he won you the Super Bowl?
Right.
And he made the right plays, made the good decision, made the right throws, took care of the ball. I mean, honestly, he made some of the throws. Some guys just didn't catch the ball.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, man, and it's a crazy analogy, but it's kind of the same. I would liken him to be the LeBron of football, and the reason I say that,
okay,
he's gonna go out and he's gonna make the right play at the right time, but it might not be the gutsy play or the play. It's not
gonna be that Caleb Wilson throw at when they played the Packers last week, falling down.
And it's not going to be where I'm going to will this game. It's like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to just do that and play within the scheme of the game, which is not wrong because he's doing the right things. But that, man, you're a Super Bowl quarterback. Sometimes you got to do the heroics, man. I think sometimes you have to do the heroics. And I love him. I still love him as my quarterback, but yeah, sometimes you got to put it on your back, man.
Being good ain't good enough.
And step outside of the schematics and everything is even with, I mean, down to not kicking field goals at a certain point of the game, man, because they looking at what they call it, the
analytics,
man. It's like it's killing the game, man. Like,
right.
Come on, keep piling the points on, man. We're gonna need these points later on. It's frustrating to watch, man. So
I totally agree, man. Frustrating frustrating to watch. But maybe next year.
Yeah,
maybe next year for the both of us, man. For the both of us.
Yeah. So who you like now?
And that's a good question. I like, for some reason, I like the Texans. And because of their defense, and CJ can make plays.
Yeah.
And I like the Seahawks.
Okay.
Because of their defense.
Yeah.
Like they what are they? 11 and what were they? 12-4? The quietest 12-14.
Yeah. Yes. Constant. Yeah.
Under the radar, man. Under the radar. I can't even tell you who the quarterback is. Who's the quarterback?
Don't ask me.
That's what I'm saying. How you be 12-4, man? I don't even know who your starting quarterback is.
Nobody paying you no mind. That's why nobody paying you no mind. But
right.
So it's gonna be interesting. But man, it's back, man. Sundays, man. Football over, man. Sundays back to church now.
Back to church, man. Back to church in these Louis Vuittons.
And them Louis. Yo, why Druski doing like that this week, man?
Man,
we gotta talk about it.
We do.
We gotta talk about it, man. Listen, when I first seen it, right, it was crazy because it was funny for me from the door. At no point did I say he's playing with God. I didn't think that personally because I know he's a comedian, and I said, okay, it's funny. But then later on in the week, when they start replaying the clips, and I realized that he was reenacting. Everything that he did
was a reenactment
of something that occurred in somebody's church.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, down to the outfit, coming down from all of this happened in somebody's church. So he was just exposing what goes on in these mega churches.
Man, I don't believe that.
Listen, go back, do your research. Every single clip from
they got a mashup of it where I can go and they'll show
the real one where it happened in the church and what he was reenacting.
Man, somebody was hanging from the ceiling.
Somebody came down from the ceiling. That's how grandiose, how big it then got, man. Like, yeah. So I mean, the church gave him that material.
Yeah, satire. It's satire, man. It's satire. I'm just making what we've already seen.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. And he's not saying this is every church. He said, look, this is what you see this year in these mega churches. And if we as the church or as the body of Christ don't like that depiction, then there has to be some changes.
Right. I mean, because that's a reflection of
it. There has to be some changes, man.
It's a reflection of what the world see.
Yeah.
The believers and the non-believers.
Yeah.
Right. It's like how do you look any different than any other regular influencer that's on social media right now?
Right.
You're chasing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know I mean, after church is over with, you laying on the couch counting the money. Yeah. Hopping in the Rolls Royce.
See that part though. That part I don't see nothing wrong with. That part I don't see nothing wrong with, man. Because the workman is worthy of his hire, man. And I feel like we can't want our secular lives to be blessed, and then you don't want the man and woman of God to be blessed, man. Now, it's an attitude and it's a sense of humbleness that got to come with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like nice things, you like nice things. Just like in the regular world, you have people that I guess some would call flashy and some that's not. But neither, it's not a crime.
It's not a crime, man. But I disagree with you on that, because I think if you want those things and that's the type of things that you like, I think you should have a job that affords that, right? You should have a profession. A lot of them do have investments and things like that. Because one, the church should be very transparent about the pay, right? What the pastor's getting. And in most cases, it's voted on and things of that nature. And so if the pastor is living above and beyond that, then it should be, to me, it should be coming from his own or her.
Yeah. But we're talking about two separate things. Yeah.
Right. It's nothing. No, I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with having a Rolls Royce and living in a really nice house, big house, if it's from the money that you earn.
Right.
But when you live in that way off of people's tithes and offering, that's where I have an issue with.
Well, what about the mega churches who create jobs and positions and you create jobs within that, you know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of jobs and created inside of the church. You employ a lot of the mega churches employ thousands of people.
And
So
see, that's my issue.
Why?
The church isn't an employer. To me.
Right.
But you know, a job, right? A job that has been created, or you know, somewhere where you go into work, that's an employer. I don't think that was ever the purpose of the church.
Right, but on every level, the pastor get paid. So if you got mom and pop churches, you know, small congregations, they still accept money. It might don't look like what it looks like in a mega church, but if you got successful people attending your church, the people that's bringing in that kind of money, and this is, okay, we allocate this for you. I don't think there's nothing wrong with you because of your congregation is blessed. They're in return blessing you. If it's something that's done from the heart and that's what they want to do. And then at the same time, I'm not saying you, but a lot of the people that do have an issue with it are the same ones that support the Beehive and people spending $1,000 and $1,000 on Beyonce tickets. Like, she's not doing anything for your life. She's not speaking anything into your life, but a pastor is.
So I always try to strip it down to the basic.
Yeah.
Right. If Jesus was here today, I couldn't see him riding around in a Bentley. I couldn't see him living in a mega church, living in a mansion. I couldn't see him doing some of the things that was in Druski skit. Right. That he was a total opposite of that. Right. And however he made money, it was self-sustaining. He managed his money. And, you know, I think God give us all gifts and talents, but he also but there's also a calling. I think we talked about this before, right? So there's gifts and talents that you have, and then there's a calling that God puts on your life. And I think both of them, I think he gives you enough to keep you sufficient in both areas.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Right. So your gifts and talents. And so that's one of the things that I can't speak for anybody else. Right. But me personally, if I did have a big mega church and I lived in a nice house and I drove a nice car, I would personally, I would want to live off of whatever my profession afforded me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Because the optics of it looks, and I think it's very to be transparent, right? To be transparent as far as what I would be getting paid and what I'd be getting compensated.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because then you know, unless I'm doing something nefarious, that the lifestyle that I'm providing for my family comes from the work and the labor of my own hands. Right. But I think that clears it up. I think the issue and why it looks a certain way is because a lot of times the pastors, that is their only source of income.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, they authors, man. They're motivational speakers. They do a whole lot of things outside of just being pastors. You know what I mean? During the week, a lot of them are artists, musicians. They have a lot of other things and then just think about the congregation, like who's in your congregation. So if you want to write a book, I'm sure you have publishers in your congregation. Yep. If you wanted to, you know what I mean? So they're making business moves outside of that too, you know what I mean? And then I also think God knows who he created. It's almost like if you have a pastor who's, let's say he's not into anything, I'm not gonna say not materialistic, because you're not supposed to be that at all, but if he has a certain lifestyle before he steps in, it's gonna manifest the same way when he gets behind the pulpit. I remember when my cross movement first came out, I used to love them, man. And when they became pastors, they rocked Timbs and fitteds of the pulpit because that's who they were.
Mhm.
So I think when you get the money, it's only gonna magnify
Who you are.
who you already are. And when we talk in the sense of style and flashiness, I don't think that has anything to do with pastoring. You know what I mean? Now
Mhm.
the talking down to folks and thinking that you're better and you're misappropriating the funds
Mhm.
and commingling with the world, and
Mhm.
that's different.
But do you think it's so to me, I think what people struggle with the most is the fact that sometimes they look at the church and they can't tell the difference between the church and outside of the church.
It shouldn't be a look though. It's the spirit. You
No.
judge the spirit by the spirit.
But what I'm saying is, so we talk about people, what you do in the 6 days that you're not in church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you may be the only example of Christ that people will see
Mm-hmm.
in their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there has to be something about you that has drawn somebody that they see a difference. You could be dressed like anybody else, but the way that you treat somebody could be
right. See,
right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, no doubt. During those 6 days.
But what I'm saying is sometimes what they see happening is exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. No,
right?
Yeah. You're right about
and at the highest level, it's like, okay, well, I would expect that. I would expect that from somebody who's new,
mm-hmm.
right? Or somebody who's been in church for a year or something like that. But there's at a certain level, I just don't expect to see certain things. And that's not, is it fair? No, because we're all human. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, these skits are able to get as much traction.
Yeah.
Is because you could point out hundreds of times where these people have been put on pedestals because of their position and they've made human error. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's two sides to it, because there is a responsibility that is given to this person that has said yes to this position,
mm-hmm.
right? And this calling and stuff in their life. But then there's also, we have to, as people, be able to say, okay, well, they're human like me and they deserve some grace as well.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a right or wrong way to do that? I don't know. And I don't know what that looks like. Right? Because we're not going to be just like Jesus. We are going to make mistakes. We're not going to be perfect,
mm-hmm.
and I think you have to be very committed.
Yeah.
When you say yes to that.
Oh yeah, you have to know what you sign up for. Because I mean, it says some things shouldn't be named among you. Some things just shouldn't.
Right.
Now, not saying that you're gonna let people dictate your lives. And I think it's a lot with our culture again. I always go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we vilify and demonize stuff so much, man, that it's almost like, oh, he was dancing with his daughter. He was, what I mean? It's like little stuff where I had homeboys, man, of a different persuasion where they go after church, their pastor come, barbecue, crack a beer with them, have fun, and they never lose not 1 ounce of respect for the pastor. Mm-hmm. They still, because they don't put that type of pressure
mm-hmm.
as we do.
Right.
But
or it could be where, the wife or the pastor show up at an event in a
yeah, man, that dress situation, man. Like I said, man, it's us, man. We do it. Like if we didn't pay that dress, give that dress so much traction and that much attention,
mm-hmm.
it wouldn't even be an issue, man. But think about it. Nah, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill, man, because I'm gonna get.
Come on, I'm trying to get you there. George.
Because, man.
No, if y'all don't do it.
But what I'm saying,
everybody, I'm telling them, don't do it.
I'm gonna do it, man, because lots of times that stem from, and I'm not gonna say I would want my wife to wear that dress, because I would ask some questions, but he chose it. Allow his wife to wear that dress. They stepped out. It wasn't a church event. And I think some of the older mothers in the church, they can't pull that dress off. I'm saying it, man. I'm sorry. They can't pull it off. So, nah, you know what I mean? But then some of the same ones, if they had the opportunity or could wear that dress, they would wear.
They would wear. It's crazy because I was having a conversation, and like the dress itself, it was a nice dress, right? If it was see-through,
it would have been a no-no.
Right. But it was nude. It was nude. And that's something that I had to think about. It's like, okay, well, if I was in that position and that was my wife and the context and stuff of the event, she wants to look nice, and I don't think this is too it was nude in color, which is the color of her skin, but it wasn't revealing other than the silhouette of her body.
Right. Where she can't hide or anyway.
Right. Even when she switched to the jean dress, the silhouette was the same.
Still there.
Right. So like as far as that goes, don't have a problem with that. But then it was just like, man, how much of a sacrifice? Because one, as all right, so perfect example. Because the question was asked, well, what about bathing suit? Can she can she wear a bathing suit? I paused. I was like, yes, she can wear a bathing suit, but I think it's a fine, like when you're in that position. Now, I ain't talking about nobody else, right? But if it's like sliced and diced and it might be a bit too much.
Either way, you're gonna see the assets, man. Either way, you're gonna see it, man. Like,
right. So but it's no different than me and you.
But if you're on the beach, when she's supposed to be garbed up on the beach,
okay.
Like,
all right.
They take a tropic vacation, why not?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just like, where's the line at? Yeah. Because it's no different. You got to say, okay, well, what about me? All right. So if I'm working out, abs nice, and I got on, if I go if I go swimming or I'm going to the beach, I'm gonna have
you got no Speedos on the man.
See, that's what
come on, man.
So it is
foul on the play.
So if you are okay, so if I'm working out and I'm in shape, right, and I'm a man, and I go to the beach and I got trunks on, even if they're a little bit shorter trunks, it's cool.
But just because it's ones that I don't like, don't mean that you're doing something wrong.
Right.
I'm gonna clown you.
But if I'm in that position and I come out in the Speedos, have I crossed the line?
What are they made for? I mean, honestly, what are they made for? You wearing what? Right? You wearing? If you in the right place,
showing off. Come on now.
Hey, man,
and diving, and that's it,
man.
And swimming the 50 meter, the 100 meter, the 200 meter, and the breaststroke and the backstroke. That's what it's made for.
I think now, they take the modesty thing, and I think they still putting that back. They want to be progressive and everything else, but you want to keep that modest in the 70s and in the 80s. Nah, man. Like, I'm not going to be in church with a box suit with my coming down to my knuckles, man, looking square. Nah, man. What's wrong with having your joint tailored up? You know what I mean? You want to be sharp. You want to represent yourself in a certain way. And if a joker that can't do that or don't choose to do that, they might hate on it and say, oh man, why he doing too much. Okay, that's what I like to do. That don't mean you like to do it, but as long as the spirit and whatever you're doing, your spirit is right, I think it's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta get away from all this.
Nah, man. Listen, man, it's a touchy subject, but hey, we can talk about it, man. Because it's a shame because we talking about being vilified, man. And so we're just talking about dress, right? But even I think last week we didn't get to touch on it, but we was talking about some of the
pause, man. Pause, man. Come on now. Come on. It's Joey Crack and Jada say, man, flag on the play, man. Flag on the play. Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't talked about the subject last week.
We didn't talk about this subject last week. And it's just we're talking about how things are vilified. Now, one of the major things that's vilified, man, that we see nowadays is, I'm gonna say, Black fathers, man, that's present in their sons or kids' life, especially at a professional level, if they're present, then in some way or form, the media, even the people, the followers, man, find a way to vilify them. And sometimes, most of the time, they're doing nothing but parenting in the spotlight. You're being a parent to your kid. You're on the sidelines. You have a voice for your, because I mean, I don't care if my kid make it to the NFL, NBA, all that. At the end of the day, it's still your kid.
Right.
So things that, you being a parent to that kid sometimes is looked at as why he's always, in the limelight, or he's doing too much. He's talking LeVar Ball. He talked too much. But he wasn't talking too much when they was in middle school, and he was getting them there. When now all of a sudden they want you to relinquish the power to them, so now they can father your kid. And you see that on every level, because a lot of people are not knowledgeable about those type of things. So what they'll do, they'll take the back seat and they'll let you start parenting their kid. But if you're a present Black father throughout the whole process, now you're a villain.
And it's crazy, man, because it does seem that way. And I'm not sure if people are just they're uncomfortable with the confidence that comes with having a present father. Right? Because when you walk into, in most cases, when that son or that daughter walks into the room, they're not walking in with their head down, their head is held high. When they speaking to another adult, they looking them in the eye, they talking to them, they can hold the conversation. And it's like, oh, this person thinks that they can do anything that they want. Yeah, because that's what I taught
him. I taught him. I instilled it. That's what you seen that with Serena. You see with Serena Williams. You seen that with. You're seeing it now with Shador, man.
You seen it with Tiger Woods, LeVar Ball. Yeah, Deion Sanders. I mean,
even what Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, what's his name?
Patrick
Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, you just see it with all of them, man. The level of confidence that they have, and that confidence is contributed to having your parents and your father in your life.
Yeah. And then you let's shift to, and we only bringing up sports and entertainment because these are people that you can see, but it happens in communities. I'll say it even happened to me. I felt like there were some instances where, one of my kids may have not gotten some of the opportunities that they should have because I was present and I had a voice. Right. And then sometimes that could be taken as not as in a voice that I'm saying something to the person who has an opportunity, who, is in charge and can make the decision. It's the fact that, I'm there watching everything.
Right.
And I'm having conversations with my son about
it's too much accountability. It's going to hold them accountable for things. They can't just get anything over.
Right. You can't get anything over. So if it's my son or if it's my daughter, and I'm there and you see me at, every event, and you see me at every game, and you see me talking to them constantly, and you see me when they talking to you, I'm a couple footsteps away. That's because I'm parenting, right? This may be a conversation that we had that they don't feel comfortable about. And I'm telling them, well, go ahead and tell this person how you feel. Because as adults, that's what's lacking. That's why you have people that don't know how to have conversations with people because they're afraid that they're going to hurt their feelings or they're going to take it the wrong way. No, if you taught how to have conversations with people and how to tell them how they're making you feel, that makes you an effective communicator. That also makes you a leader.
Yeah.
Because then when you get in positions where you are making the decision and you have to talk to somebody and you have to tell them something that they're probably not going to like to hear, you have practiced that and you've done that multiple times where you can do it with humility and you can do it with respect.
Yeah, out of the right spirit. But what that also makes you, it makes you intimidating to people that's used to saying, shut up and dribble, or people that are used to saying, you're angry this person or ain't. See, now you're intimidating
Mhm.
because you know how to communicate. Communication, man, is powerful.
It is. It is. And you know,
I watched the clip. Did I send you the clip last week, man? It was a guy. A guy had said something to
in his store.
Said something.
Yes.
He had wrongly accused the guy's son or something, or he approached his son in the wrong manner.
Mhm.
And I don't know if he grabbed the kid up or anything, but the dad came in. He said, "Listen." And man, he read this brother without. He didn't raise his voice one time.
It wasn't a brother. He read.
Right. He
read this guy.
Yeah, that guy turned red. He wasn't. But anyway, he educated him. But the way he did it, man, was so effective that the guy couldn't even give a rebuttal. He just had to sit there and listen because, listen, he stripped them. Okay, we're not going to do this in an angry, aggressive way. But listen, I'm telling you, calmly, that I will hurt you. Right. This can turn into something else. And you never know who you was talking to.
Dealing with. Yeah, because you don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know how my day's going. You don't know how my week's going. You don't know how my month or my year has gone.
Yeah.
This just might have been a bad time for you to even had approach my daughter or my son. And that was just the catalyst that made me just snap. Right. And I think that's emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Right. And that can be taught. Some of it has to be learned. But if you have a present parent or parents,
oh yeah,
it allows you to be able to build that faster. Yeah. Some people have to make mistakes and stumble, and and unfortunately, sometimes those mistakes may set them back years, right? Because they reacted out of emotion when they should have just not said anything.
Yeah. Not said anything. Get your thoughts together, gather information, and come back and approach it. Set up a meeting.
Right.
Come back. You know what I mean? Everything don't have to be handled. And I always, I tell my kids that, and it don't have to be handled on the side of the road if you pulled over or if you're in the classroom. Lots of times teachers don't want to be challenged. But you can have that same conversation. Hey, can I see you after class?
Right.
And you can, like you said, effectively communicate. Look, this is how you make me feel when you called me out. You said this, boom, 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 boom. And they're more apt to listen to it than, well, boom, boom, boom. But you got to be taught that. And lots of times that reaction is what they're saying is correct.
Right. But
the timing is just not right.
So this is kind of a flip of what we're talking about. And this society, does it bother society when we react, or we act in a manner that was not intended for us to?
Absolutely. It is very intimidating, man. I've said it a lot because, like we said earlier, optics, you'll see me in certain settings and I might sit back and then, okay, it's time for me to speak. And when I speak, I'm going to say what's on my mind, but I'm going to, depending on the setting, I'm going to say it in the way it's supposed to be said. And they sit back like, dang, because they, because lots of times they want to graze over what's been said or dismiss it. But when you react in a way they don't expect for you to react, or communicate in a way that they don't think you're going to communicate, and it makes sense, and the data is there and all that, they intimidate. They're like, wait a minute. Oh, so we gotta go deeper. Now they fumble and try to find the right information because they thought you could just tell me this and that.
Right.
Nah, I came here prepared. Right. We're gonna have this conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah, you see that a lot. And then another thing that I deal with is because my voice sometimes, you know what I mean? And lots of times I can get elevated. And I had that happen one time at work, man. My voice went to a high octave. And my building got scared, man. You thought, man, I was about to, I'm ain't that serious. But then they not used to seeing me that way. And because I went a little bit above and I didn't get, ridiculous with it, that, man, they shut them all down. They called me in the office. You know what I mean? They all timid. I say, God, y'all some scary folks. But yeah. A strong black man can be intimidating.
Yeah. His presence in his children's life.
Yeah,
for sure. And we can, I'm gonna move off of that, but we gonna circle back to that because there's a couple other layers that go along with that, and what it sets up your children's expectations.
Yeah.
Right. If they're not willing to accept certain things, then they expect certain things. Right. And that influences their whole environment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they sit at, where they elevate to, who they get respect from.
How they date.
Right.
All that. Yeah. What they expect from the person that they date. All that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
No doubt.
So speaking of expectations, man, what is the expectation, when you married and having friends of the opposite sex? What's the guy? What's I ain't gonna say the rules and the guidelines, but let's say it's some young couple out there right now, they thinking about getting married or they just got married and, they both have friends of opposite sex outside of the marriage.
Two things. No new friends. No new friends. Nah, no new friends. I mean, listen, we all, like you said, we work outside the home. You know what I mean? We have a work environments and we work closely with somebody year on year after that. You form bonds and stuff like that. But your friend is my friend. My friends are your friends. We don't have a bunch of secret friends.
Right.
We got associates now. Don't see it's different having associates because you gotta make phone calls. You gotta talk to people. Associates is different. But when you're saying friends, where friends is a little more intimate to me.
Right. So let's differentiate for people that's looking. So an associate, let's just say you work, you work at a place and you and somebody of the opposite sex go out for lunch. Is that an associate or is that a friend?
I don't think it's one size fit all. Are we working on a project with a deadline?
No. We just like
hanging out. Nah, we shutting that down from the door, man. It ain't none of that, man. If you don't find one of your female friends to go out with and eat, man, nah, we not doing that, man. But I mean, at the same time, man, I think it's a trust level, but everybody. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this: people get in relationships at different times in their life. I mean, I got married at a really young age, so my wife pretty much knew anybody I came in the game with. You know what I mean? Now, if I was just now coming in, I lived a full life. I have friends, you know what I mean? Probably friends that was friends of both of us. Somebody passed away, somebody moved on. It's different. But when you starting off young like that and you went to high school together or grew up in the same town, you pretty much know who's who. Now I don't think it's room for a whole lot of new friends, man.
So what if you did? What if you you went away to college and let's just say you went to Kansas to college, right? And you meet a girl there and y'all dating, getting serious, time to graduate and stuff. And she got her some, guys that she was cool with from over in Cali, where she from. And she's like, yo, these my homeboys. I mean, we've been cool since we was riding bikes together in elementary school.
That's cool. But it's boundaries, even with that. I just think it's about the boundaries.
Okay.
I don't think you have to sever those friendships because sometimes those friends are going to be there longer than the person you're in a relationship with, depending on how long, you know what I mean? And then if you sever all those relationships, let's say that relationship don't work out, now you isolate it because you done abandoned all of your friends and everything.
But does that relationship change once you get married? Does
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The boundary change, the dynamic of it should change. Okay. But now those monumental times in our lives. Okay, you knew my mother passed. You coming in town to go to the funeral when now you come and congregate with me and my husband or my wife, so on and so forth.
She introducing y'all to
your
each
friend
other
is
now.
my friend. Right. We all together. I think that's cool, man. I think the dynamic is different, man, for every situation, but I think it's risky.
I agree. And when the conversations become too intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you start talking about our relationship to somebody outside of our relationship, like you're either venting or you're looking for advice from this person that's been around, you know what I mean? Or you're looking for some other type of support that you're not getting from the relationship.
Oh yeah.
That's like,
that's emotional. Yeah, dependency on somebody else.
Right,
Yeah, that's a different ball game.
But there people need to know like that you should have those boundaries. It's nothing wrong for you to feel that way.
But what about holiday time and you want to buy your husband this Rolex and you know your homie wear Rolexes and stuff like that, and you say, hey, you know, I'm gonna call, see which one I should buy. I have to talk to them about that. Is that?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's just surface stuff.
That's surface.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So
that's
it's just boundaries.
Yeah,
certain things we could talk about, but you ain't doing no crying on my shoulder and crying on their shoulder and all that.
Right.
That's
like you talking to them about, okay, your wife is at work and she having, issues at work and stuff like that. And instead of talking to you, the husband, she's calling this other man up and talking to him about all of that stuff. Right. That's going over the line.
Yeah.
Right. Because now that's bringing intimacy that you would normally, because like a lot of young people will look at it and be like, they think intimacy is, having sex with somebody or something like that. But it's like intimacy is more than that. Intimacy is you allowing somebody to see you for who you really are. The things that bother you, the things that hurt you, the things that that drive you,
that you desire,
that you desire. Like those are the most intimate, the things that you don't want to tell anybody else. Those are when you're talking about them, those are moments of intimacy. And if you're experiencing those with somebody else, unless it's somebody, so it's different when you got, like, let's just say we're talking about friends outside of the marriage, but it's different when it's, let's just say you had family members that you grew up with, or siblings, right? And y'all grew up and y'all share some of the same trauma and y'all talk about that sometimes. Well, that's something that you guys have experienced together. And you can
so
talk
you're bonded
about.
in that area.
You're bonded in that area. But, there's other things that you haven't, and this would be excluding from siblings, that you've experienced. And when you start to open up to somebody else that you haven't decided you're going to spend the rest of your life with, then that's when it becomes
and you're giving them ammunition, man. You're getting them footholds, man,
right,
into your marriage, into your life, and then you never know when they're going to use that ammunition, man, because everybody's motives ain't pure, man. It could start off that way, but now they know, okay, he's lacking in this area or she's lacking in there. Let me try to, entice them this way or that way. Me personally, I don't even want my wife calling another guy for, even when we was young, you need brakes put on your car. I don't care if I can't put brakes on. let me call his number. Let me call him. Let me take him somewhere. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you, calling another man to outman me. No, sir. We not doing it, man. Nah, we not doing that, man. But a lot of guys will do that, man. A lot of guys are laid back, man, on the couch, and wife's car broke down. She out there finding the person to fix it, doing this and that, and all you doing is setting yourself
working on the pipes and everything, fixing the plumbing. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But want to say thank you. Oh, Pastor Tambra.
Oh yeah,
she commented, say it's awesome comment. So appreciate you tapping in, Pastor Tambra. That's my problem. We want to talk about you. We want to talk about you. But yeah, man, that's it's interesting conversation. I try to, when we had these conversations, it's me and you talking, but it's important for somebody who's just coming into this conversation to be able to get the context and be like, okay, well, here's another perspective. Here's another way
No
to look
doubt.
at it, because they might not have these conversations with their homeboys or their homegirls, right, or even with their parents,
exactly.
Or they may have grew up in an unhealthy environment and don't know, like, their dating experience could be warped because they never been in a solid good relationship,
a toxic relationship, and that didn't have those boundaries, that we're talking about,
And then, or you could be with somebody who's extremely manipulative and making you think, oh no, this is good. Like, why you feel that way? It's everybody do this. It's like, okay, no, everybody don't do this. Yeah, and this ain't normal.
That's it.
That's it. Cool, man. So we want to wrap it up with some real estate stuff, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Let's talk about those interest rates, man. I see that they seem to take a little
dip. They dipped down a little bit. Not because of the Fed reducing the interest rates. I try to make sure that people know that, but it's more so of the conversation around the rates are tied to the 10-year bond. So the 10-year bond has always been something that other countries have, whenever there was turmoil, or if they wanted to park their money in a safe place, they would always park it in a 10-year bond in the United States, because it guaranteed a return. Sometimes that return, or I think right now it's around, that rate is around 4%. So it's always usually about 2 points below whatever mortgage rates are. Right. So that rate, if rates right now are around 6%, then the 10-year bond rate is at 4%. So, if you put, $1,000 in, it's only $40 a year in interest. But when you put hundreds of $millions in, you know that you're going to make that interest off of it, and the risk on the bond is the lowest. It's the safest investment in the world. Is the US's 10-year bond. So if you're ultra rich, you're a billionaire or whatever, you might have money in the stock market, you might have money in other companies and under index funds, but a large portion of that, if you want to keep it safe, you put it in the 10-year bond, and it's going
to grow, but safely.
It's going to grow safely.
Risk,
it's not going to grow at 10 or 15 or 20 or 100%. It's like, okay, this money over here, let's say you got $100 million. I'm putting 50 million over here. I know I'm going to be making, $8 million a year off of this, and or $4 million a year off of it. And this other money, I might be making a little bit more, but if stuff hit the fan,
I'm going to lose.
I'm going to lose, but I got this over here. And the crazy thing is that if stuff hits the fan, the 10-year bond goes up. So if the market dipping, if the market go haywire, if it go 2008 on us, right, then the market in general has gone down, but the 10-year bond might have went from 4 to 8. So now the 50 million that you had over there, you got 8% that year over it. So it becomes one of the safest investments. So the other thing I wanted to say is, right now is a good time. If you're already in a home, rates are going down. You can actually get your rate down to about 5.5% right now, depending on the loan program. You might have to put a point and a half, or something like that down. A point is 1% of whatever the purchase price of the home is. But you can get down to 5.5% for those people that were in at 3.5%, because inventory levels are up. Now is actually a time where, if you're thinking about selling your home, you can actually put your house on the market, be looking for other homes, and get them under contract, because there's more inventory, and some houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. So you might even be able to get that house under contract before you get yours under contract. You'd have to do what's called a 72-hour contingency, where if somebody came along with an offer that was just as good or better than yours, you got 72 hours to take that contingency off. Or, you get your deposit back and you just have to go find another home. So I would say, if it got down to 5.5%, where you could buy down to 5%, you're going to see that skyrocket. But if you're thinking and you're on the fence about buying a house, moving up, getting more square footage, now would be a good time to be able to have that conversation with, a spouse or significant other, or if you're by yourself, to really kind of think about, okay, do do I ultimately want a larger house? Do I want to move? Do I want to relocate? Because now is an opportune time. The rate's a little bit higher. You can get it down lower, and you could always refinance if rates go down. But for right now, inventory levels are up and houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. So that gives you more leverage of being a buyer that has a house to sell.
Awesome. Yeah. Great information, man.
Yeah. So as always, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Keep commenting and keep letting us know what you think about the topics that we have on a weekly basis, man. We want to get these likes and shares up, but most importantly, we want y'all to be a part of our regular conversation.
No doubt.
This is stuff that we talk about that we would be talking about if we didn't have this podcast.
No doubt.
I mean, honestly, that's how this podcast came about.
We
get on the phone, we talk once or twice a month. It was always an hour conversation.
Always.
And so we hope you find this, find this as a good outlet and some good knowledge and, a different point of view. But as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, share, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And as always, stay
tapped in.
Tapped in.
Peace, man.